Hey, it's Dave Duford at davidduford.com, where I help insurance agents like you become top producers. And in this video, I want to share with you a ride-along experience that I just had with a gentleman named Jason out of Mississippi, and to really train and teach you the importance of the magic at the doorstep on a door knock. So we were on, I'll paint the picture, we were on our ride-along together. I take agents with me. They come with me. They buy leads. But they make the entire sale, and I basically just coach them through the presentation, their approaches, and just give them some helpful advice on how they can better attune their process to do a better job selling insurance. So this is Jason's first day with me, and we walked up to a door and knocked on it. I stepped over to the side just to observe, and the lady behind the door said, "Who's at my door? Who is it?" And Jason said, "Oh, I'm Jason with you filled out this thing on Facebook about leads," and he kind of stumbled over his words, but he got through the pitch. And she said, "Hold on, wait a minute." And she started to open the door, and she said, "These people always come into my door, call me on the phone. I never filled out any form about insurance. Are you crazy? What are you doing here?" She was mad. She was pissed. And this is great because sometimes you're like, your initial thought, if you could frame that, is like, oh man, this is going to go bad. She's opening the door. She's angry. She's mad, right? What do you do? And what happened was magic. It's why it's magic. Jason started talking to her, started having a friendly conversation, said, "Hey, that's fine. No worries. Sorry to bother you. I'm here because you requested this information." And they started talking about insurance. She had insurance. He started to tell how it wasn't necessarily the best choice, and eventually asked to come in, and she calmed down, and she's like, "Yeah, you come on in. And an hour and a half later, we had a $55 a month sale. She was thrilled. She apologized for being kind of on edge there to begin with. And we left with a solid deal. And I think the moral of the story here is that it's you've got to have some level of being on your toes when you're at the door. And the thing is it's learnable. I don't think that this business is something that you have to, like, you have it or you don't. You develop an instinct based off of repetition and experience going through the process. Yeah, like in the beginning, Jason may stumble over his words and have some issues getting going up and started, but that's fine. You will too. I know I did. But once you start doing this enough, and this is what's great about this business, is that you begin to understand the process. You begin to get better at the process. And you hear the same things over and over, and you begin to be able to react in a right and accurate way. And you develop the skill set of anticipating and dealing with human behavior and reactions and being faster, more on the spot, and converting these potentially negative opportunities into success. And I can tell you this, guys, is that this type of experience is what differentiates the mediocre that eventually gets out of the business from the good or the great even. And it's this ability to handle circumstances with people at the door. You've got to get good at going to the door and being able to present yourself in a positive light and have a friendly conversation on top of getting into the door immediately. And again, if you're afraid of this, if you're new and you're thinking this is not possible for you to do, or you just doubt the veracity of this, don't. Trust me, this is something our market, especially in final expense, but really every market, will be okay with once you are good and comfortable with the process. Again, this is all learnable skill sets. How do you learn it? You do it. There's no easy way in learning the insurance prospecting business. There's no easy way of learning how to door knock leads. You just have to do it, and you find through this experience of doing that you ultimately learn more and become better. It's just like sports. It's just like martial arts. I take jiu-jitsu, as some of you guys know, and it is a technique-driven martial art. And there's no way to learn a technique other than repetition, other than getting on the mat and sparring and trying these techniques out over and over again. And yeah, you're going to screw up a couple of times, but don't say, as my jiu-jitsu instructor says, don't throw out the technique because it doesn't work for you the first couple of times. You're actually learning, and you are. And that's the key thing to make sure you're doing, is that as you go out here and you participate and you go through the repetitions of pitching at the door, doing whatever part of this business, you've got to take notes and mentally think, how did that go well, and how can I improve? And the more you do that, and the more you analyze, and start to take action on the analysis and thoughts that you've realized that you can improve on, you'll start to slowly, marginally improve until one day, I promise you, everything that it will experience will be rote. You would have already experienced everything that every person's ever said 99% of the time. Can't be perfect completely, but it all becomes automatic. I mean, I can go out there today. I don't know what I would say when I approach the door, but I've developed this kind of like reaction instinct to how someone reacts, what they say, how they look, how they squint their eyes, their tonality. And I react in a certain way that accommodates that because I've developed this after 3,000 plus presentations, this instinct of human behavior. So I encourage you guys that this business of selling insurance is something that only is learned through repetition and through actual in the trenches experience. You cannot learn to sell insurance by sitting at home, studying underwriting guides, and learning your applications. I assure you, you would probably be more successful just going out there with a minimal, maybe hours worth of investment in learning the product and just going out and talking to people. Most of you probably won't take that because you think I'm nuts, especially for you newer guys, but all you experienced guys know that's the case. Yeah, you got to know a little bit, but ultimately what it comes down to success in this business is by activity. It's by action, taking action and seeing people, and better yet, having somebody to rely on to help coach you through those inevitable questions when it comes to technical product issues that you may have. So if that's something you're interested in, like I said, if you're a newer agent or looking for a new agency to call home, you can check out what I have to offer by going to davidduford.com. Click on the link at the top of the menu that says Working in David's Agency to find out more information on the products that we sell, like final expense, mortgage protection, annuities, and Medicare supplements. If you like this video, comment below, leave a thumbs up as well, and subscribe. How could I forget? Make sure you subscribe to this video too. My name is David Duford at davidduford.com. We'll see you next time. You guys, take care.